This episode of the Lifted to Life by Dana B podcast is brought to you by Neurogum. Hello, you are listening to the Lifted to Life by Dana B podcast. I am Dana B. I thank you for listening. This podcast is not just about self-care, it's about discovering your authentic self. So today's episode is titled A Brand New Version of Me. So turning 50 was truly a blessing. For some, it may not be a big deal, yet to me, it was a huge milestone that I was excited to reach. I have evolved into this new version of me that I am truly in love with. When I turned the page to 50, I celebrated in Las Vegas with my family and friends. I did what I wanted to do. I stayed at the Vidara Hotel and Resort, treated myself. I treated myself. I treated myself to see Usher perform. That was the bestest weekend. I had the bestest 50th birthday celebration. I got in touch with a baker in Vegas and had her make me a 50th birthday cake that was delicious. I enjoyed turning 50. I'm 52 and I'll be 53 in October. Libra gang, gang, gang. I always tell people Libras keep things balanced. We are non-problematic. We can debate, but we don't go tit for tat. We don't like conflict. We don't like confrontation. So, of course, as a woman, when I turned 50, many changes happened physically: menopause, hormonal weight gain, brain fog, clumsiness. I think I started those changes or feeling those changes when I was in my late 40s, but they ramped up when I hit 50. Them hot flashes come with a vengeance. Them night sweats, honey, wake me up out of my sleep. I sleep with a fan on me all night long. I have handheld fans with me throughout the day. My mother bought me a couple neck fans. When I tell you I keep the fans blowing, truly, where them fans at? Now more than anything, I take care of my health, going to the doctors when I need to go, not just when something's wrong, but for my regular checkups. Just making sure maintenance, my mammograms, my GYN visits, my annual PEPs, girl, getting my boobies pressed when I'm supposed to, get that annual mammogram. Listen, we take our call for maintenance. When things go wrong, when we hear dings and knocks in the engine or something's not working right, we take our car to get checked out. Why don't we do the same for our bodies? And as we age, we need to do that more and more. I have a nutritionist that helps me stay on track with my diet and to make sure that I'm eating the foods that are good for me. Now, don't get me wrong, I do have a cheat day. And trust me, when I cheat, I cheat. Now, not to say I eat something fried, but honey, let me find a good soul food kitchen with some good collard greens, some smothered chicken, ribs, macaroni and cheese, sweet potatoes. Listen, if I'm going to cheat on my cheat day, then let me cheat in peace. As I turned 50, I realized that I'm no longer surviving. In my 50s, I'm thriving, specifically because I wake up grateful every single morning. Of course, with this aging, you wake up with a different pain or a crack, but I thank God that I can feel that pain or that crack. It's waking up to new outlooks, brand new mercies every single day. So here's some valuable lessons that I learned since I turned 50, and I want to share them with you. But let me start by saying this, that 50 is no longer considered middle age. Nowadays, middle age is considered at 35, mainly because people aren't living past 85 to 90 years old. The average lifespan in the men is 74 years, and in women is 80 years. By God's grace, I pray that I live well past my 90s. So some of the biggest lessons that I learned that became eye openers for me is, one of the biggest lessons was that I have more years behind me than I have ahead of me. I think about the actress Auntie Jennifer Lewis's analogy. She says to think about the number of summers that you have left. I pray that I have at least 30 summers left to enjoy. Once I was faced with that reality of having more years behind me than I have ahead of me, all the other things became more and more clear and more important to me. I've adopted the mantra that I will solely focus on the things that I can change and not even thinking about the things that I can't. Listen, life be life, and life is going life no matter what. I can't stress over bills. I can't stress about my job. If I want to keep a roof over my head, food in the fridge, clothing, my car, working electricity, running water, those are necessities to live and function each day. My mental health is far more important. It's what I can control by keeping my mind regulated. I can control the things that I want to do, and I can control the things that I don't want to do. We'll get into setting boundaries later on in this season. I can control my happiness, meaning I will not relinquish my happiness to anybody. I won't relinquish my free, because relinquishing your happiness to someone basically gives them the freedom and the power over you. And that is one thing I will not allow a person to control, and that is truly my happiness. I can control how I enter spaces and not shrink. I can control how I can decompress when I come home and not think about my job when I get home, and to dive into my hobbies. Once I leave my workspace, honey, I don't think nothing about my job when I get home. Nothing. Even if it tries to slither in my mind, baby, I cut that thing off so fast. Now, the things that I cannot control is time. We cannot control time. Scripture says that no man can add a minute, hour, or day to their life. No one. I can't control the traffic. I can't control the weather. I can't change the policies and procedures that are established on my job. This current administration and their actions, we can't control it. But we can control our intake of the news that pertain to this administration. And when I tell you I don't look at the news at all, well, I'll put it to you this way. I look at news outlets like the Associated Press and PBS, because majority of all news outlets get their information from the Associated Press. And what they do is, when they get that news from the Associated Press, they spin it. Okay. So I focus on the main source of where the news comes from. Because if you look at other news outlets like your MSN, your CNN, honey, they will take your mental health and they will tear it into shreds. So I steer clear of those news outlets that tend to go into levels of hashtag fake news. One of the things I hate is that it took me this long to adapt this wisdom. My sister said, how would we have learned the lesson if we hadn't made mistakes when we were younger? In retrospect, use your time wisely and just live. Keep in mind, you have more years behind you than you have ahead of you. So, what do you want to do with those years that are ahead of you? Since turning 50, I tend to laugh at myself more. When you say something, or when I say something dumb and stupid, I have to laugh at myself. Laugh at yourself sometimes. I dance more. Now, one thing I do that some people might say that's really corny is when I check the time and it says 10:16, that's my birthday. I break out in a 1 minute dance and I just start singing, it's my birthday, it's my birthday. Gets the blood flowing, right? Now, that may sound corny to you, but hey, you got to do it. Don't knock it until you try it, okay? Another thing I do is I enjoy family time every chance I get. There is nothing like family. We are a true lively bunch. We laugh, we love, we damn sure eat good. Enjoying my time with my daughters is super important. Making memories on purpose. This became one of the biggest things with my family because, if I can be transparent, my older sister, when she was 32 years old, she had a massive heart attack. And the ER doctor told us, her family, and her husband, that we needed to prepare for the worst, that she wasn't going to make it through the night. And if she did make it, because she had lost a lot of oxygen to her brain, that she would never be the same. Boy, was he wrong. The doctor said no, but God said yes. My sister will be 56 years old this year. All I can say is, but God. Another thing I've learned is to lean into my emotions and not suppress them. Grief is real, y'all. I have my weepy days when I think about my good girlfriend that passed away 2 years ago. She was truly a bright light. So when she comes across my mind, my tears flow. Understand that crying is cleansing. And then 2 weeks after her passing, my uncle got sick and he suddenly passed away. Grief is real. But to help me through that grieving process, I write letters to those who have passed away. So instead of writing Dear Diary or Dear Journal or whatever, I write Dear Sissy, Dear Uncle B. Or there's some days I just say Dear God. And that has helped me in so many ways to write letters to my loved ones. It was very therapeutic and continues to be therapeutic to this day. Take time for you. That's another gem. Take time for you. I'm sure you've heard the phrase me time. Yep, that's truly important. That's a part of self care. It's a way of loving on you. Me time consists of a number of things to me. It's either taking myself out for a nice lunch or dinner, a massage, a cooking class, getting a manicure, pedicure, movie night at home, day trip to a museum, excursion, experience, as long as it's about you. Sometimes you have to check out and just have a moment of being with yourself. I feel like if you learn to be by yourself, you'll find that sense of purpose and joy more and more. You'll meet that person along the lines or along the way. Once you can spend time with yourself and be comfortable with spending time with yourself, please, nobody can tell you anything. You ever hit that 2 p.m., 3 p.m. slump when you're in the office and you need something that's going to give you a boost to push you to the end of the workday? You don't want to get a soda and you don't want to get chocolate. Well, for me, I reached for NeuroGum. NeuroGum has 100 milligrams of natural caffeine and brain-supporting B vitamins for maximum energy and focus. You can find the link to purchase in the show's bio. Lastly, a huge part of turning 50 was having a relationship with God, trusting God in everything. And I mean everything. His righteous hand over my life and the lives of my children, knowing that I'm more than a conqueror, that I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me, listening for his voice and knowing that he has my back, talking to him every single day and throughout the day, reading his word, listening to his word, hearing his word, trusting him and acknowledging that I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. Having that relationship with God and saying, Lord, I put my hand in yours. Lead me and guide me. It's amazing to me how I have walked into spaces and people see me and wonder why I'm so happy with everything that's going on around me. Because I'm focusing solely on the things that I can control and not bothering with the things that I can't. I'm trusting God to lead the way for me and putting all my faith and my trust in him. I'm checking out of these news outlets and these social media posts of these people trying to scare us. And knowing that the life that God has given me, I'm going to live it to the full. That's what I'm going to do in my big age of 50. So before I end today's episode, I want to read an excerpt from Journey to the Heart by Melody Beattie. And it's entitled, Let Joy Find You. Somewhere along my journey, it happened. Quietly, imperceptibly, almost without knowing it, I relaxed, got comfortable with myself. I began enjoying myself, accepting life, liking life. I found joy. Somewhere along your journey, it will happen to you. Joy is a gift. It appears almost imperceptibly, without warning, like a morning sunrise lighting out our bedroom while we sleep. It is almost as predictable. Keep doing the activities that bring healing and growth into your life. Keep loving yourself. Keep walking your path. Continue loving. Don't worry about finding joy, because somewhere along your journey, joy will find you. So tell me, what valuable lessons have you learned in your journey as you've aged? And tell me, what gems have people dropped in your life as you've gotten older? I'm interested in hearing from you. Email me at liftedtolife@gmail.com. I thank you for listening, and I will see you next week.